Hello, I am Gilles Mansillon. I send greetings and blessings. I wanted to come very briefly today once again to discuss astrology. For astrology is a very serious science to me. It's all relative. Everybody's got different views on that, and it is your view that counts. It's not what anybody else thinks. But as far as I'm just going to express my own view about it, for me, astronomy has to come first. First, the science of astronomy, identify the celestial body, and the more we develop advanced telescope, the more we are able to discover smaller planets and so on. But then astrology gives attributes, makes an attribution to consciousness, to energetic frequency, to all those planets, because and then they work as a whole to influence all, and so they always have conversation between themselves, and that is what basically astrology. And I love to see all those websites and how the trines, the squares, the opposition, and all those things. But to me, it's essentially my main influence. Those may have a conscious influence on me when I observe those things. But the most powerful influence is always in the now, and it's usually just one planet that comes in and speak to me, and at one moment and give me an energy, or sometimes a guide. One of my guides say, "Hey, there is a planet here." And so some of those, I've been working with the planets for a very, very long time. I've been painting them for a very long time. I used to work with about 15 planets. Now I started a new series of art paintings that with about 100 of the major planets of our solar system. And I'm going to share those in a moment. Because that helped me to expand my consciousness and to start working with many of those smaller planets. For in truth, there are hundreds of thousands of those planets that are all have intelligence. They all are, to me, they are eternal being, multi-dimensional being, just as the Earth is a multi-dimensional being. And so, also personally, I find traditional astrology a lot more interesting. Not interesting, but it's more useful to me because it shows me a span of the future. When I looked at sidereal astrology, it usually showed me the past. I always see, when I hear somebody discussing sidereal astrology or Vedic astrology, whatever they say, it's always about my past. But that's me. I mean, so it's maybe because I'm a Pisces, or I don't know. But so I don't usually take too much time to look at sidereal astrology because I've already lived my past. I don't need to analyze it, and so I have a tendency to sometimes kind of interested about traditional astrology. But essentially, it is a direct relationship to those planets. Eventually, we're going to make that connection, and those planets have been given the authority to return to us our power, to bring us to our empowerment. And so as we move into the fourth, fifth dimension, we're going to be able to have more communication, more connection, more understanding also of all those things that are going on within our solar system that we are unaware of, for there are many things that are happening there in terms of other civilizations and so on. I remember many years ago I talked to my master guide about that, and he comes from the planet Chiron, so he's an extraterrestrial of sort. And to them, he was explaining to me that to them, planets are they're personas. They are all entities that are having this. They are dancing in the sky in a way, because it's like everything is. They're all doing what they're doing, and so, but there is a lot of things that is happening that is even beyond what we can see as astrologers, because you can look at 10 planets that are having this conversation, but there is an 11th one that is there that hasn't been taken into account, and which modifies everything that's been said. So it is everything is relative to our perceptions. But it is something that is growing. The more we're going to be able to expand our consciousness, the more we're going to be able to integrate those more planets into our collective consciousness, that we're going to be discovering new ones. I'm going to make a very brief... I started those three painting of there's the 100 major planets of our solar system, with the sun in the center, which is represented as yin and yang. It's kind of smiling here. And Chiron, and then the major planets like Uranus. I think they came out really well. I really like those paintings. There's Saturn's, Jupiter. It's got 63 moons, and each moon also has its own persona. Those are very advanced. I mean, on Jupiter it's different, but there is there are all kinds of things going on there. And there's all kinds of small planets that may have a very, very powerful effect on us, or influence us in some subtle way, or in a way that is not necessarily conscious. The last thing that I resolved on that painting was this area. Those are other planets, trans-Neptunian planets like Admetos, Ixion, Euphrosyne, and Terrania. I had to resolve it, and then here there was a space. I needed to put one more planet, and Spirit said it has to be Bamberga. So here it is, Bamberga it is, and here we have Neptune. Yes, Apollo below. So yeah, this is the first one. It is dated 2014. Then here we have the second planet. It's better without the light. So this is the number 2. It's dated 2015. It's very different. It's like the kind of energy, but the same planets are being placed there, and they all great Saturn here, and the moon of Saturn's beautiful places. Saturn is such a beautiful place. I hope you get a chance to visit someday. I've always loved my visit there. Chiron, Jupiter, Pluto, I put on the bottom here. And there are some planets like I'm not really sure yet. I've never really been contacted with, like Orcus and Vance, or Mea, Namaka, Guewar, and Wewat. And toutes sortes de small planets, all sorts of small planets that are part of this this painting. For there are hundreds of thousands of them, like I said, but those are the 100 major. I think they're quite important because it's never those energies have been combined in such a ways. So in a sense, they are anchoring this energy on the planet. On this planet, the planet Earth. The third painting I've been working on is this one. And it's still not completely done. It is, although it's not too far. It looks pretty good, but it's far more discreetly put. All those planets are more discrete, well, except Jupiter, which is quite big. Cannot be really that discrete. Neptune down there. Pluto, Uranus. Those are the main guys of our solar system, and the Sun, of course, which is central, and our little planet here. Where is it? Terra. And this is just to finish the video. This is the painting I talked about. I showed before, cosmological painting that I'm working on. I was planning to finish it before 2016 was over, but we have a saying in French: when something is impossible, no one is bound to the impossible. So I don't think I'm going to make it before 2017, but it is not that far, so I'm going to continue to work on it, and hopefully I'll get to finish it really soon. So, well, I hope this video was interesting for you. I wish you a wonderful day. I thank you for all your commenting, sharing, liking, subscribing, and I will be back later. I hope I hope that this year I will be able to present those in more formal exhibitions. Well, in the meantime, they're just sitting here, but I do enjoy looking at them. And looking at those paintings is kind of interesting because sometimes there is like a planet will jump out, or something like a word will jump out, and it's kind of interesting how consciousness may react to that. Well, I wish you a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later. Thank you very much. Namaste.